Nuclear stocks just exploded. Companies like Nano Nuclear sold over 50% in just 18 days. OKLO Inc. and nuscale are charging, but what about Microsoft, Amazon, and Google betting billions on the new AI energy boom? I've been tracking these three stocks for months and profited really big. But is the run over? Or are we just starting a mega trend that you want to be on board with? Let's check it out. Hey, I'm Dennis Wilborn, and these stocks have been in my sights for months. But the big question now is the perfect storm for a mega trend forming. AI data centers are driving just insane energy demands. President Trump just came out and said, hey, let's fast track these small modular reactors and trillions of dollars that the tech giants are going all in on this clean nuclear energy. This isn't a pump. It could be, as I said, the beginning of a multi-year mega trend. So let's dive into the charts and see where we might get on board. First up is OKLO. Jumped over 50% just this past week and looks to be heading higher with the likes of Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, and also a chairman and big shareholder in this story. Clearly, OKLO has some serious legs. So, what about the technicals on this? Let's check it out. So, first, if we want to be on board the OKLO train, we got to figure out where that's going to be. I like to basically wait for pullbacks into the blue line there, which is the 8-day moving average, for a bounce higher. As you can see, we've had a breakout above the 42.51 level. Next week, the 8-day will be up about $40.88. And so placing an order to buy above that level would be a great place to get in. And so let's say 40. Okay, my initial stop loss on this will be at 39.06. It's about a 7% stop loss. If you want to make that a little bit wider, but I want to be looking at this from the aspect of if prices drop the 8-day moving average, I want to be out. And then if then prices turn back around, I can always get back in. Now, what about the upside expectations? We have a level of resistance that goes along with this past high up here at $59.14. And so placing a profit target 1 up at about, let's say $58.50. So if I'm filled down here at 42 and I get up to that level there, it's about a 38% profit target. However, but wait, there's more. What's its ultimate target? Remember, if this is a long-term mega trend, where price is likely to go. Let's jump over to the weekly chart and take a look at that. Okay, turning to the Fibonacci's, I'll just lay a Fibonacci extension on that. And from that high to that low. And if I break out at the right up there at the 59.02 level, how much further can I go? If I break out at that, oftentimes a symmetric move all the way up to 200% move, or it's 100% of this move from this high to this low, would put me up close to, where was that? At $100.86. How much of a move from where we're at right now would that be? Let's take a peek. We were looking at getting that in about 42 up to that level. This is an estimate. We're talking about a 139% move going forward. Is that within reason? Yes. And again, if this is a mega trend, I want to be basically buying in and out of it, doing swing trades onto this, and compounding those returns on a regular basis. Okay, I'm watching for the retest back to that breakout level. And if the volume holds, which a huge volume from this past week, if that holds, we could see the second leg higher at any time from there, at least back up to the past highs. Hey, if you like this setup, remember, hey, smash the subscription button and share this video with somebody who might be interested in making a little bit of money before the end of the year. What about the next stop? Okay, NuScale Power, SMR, I think is one of the well-kept secrets. So while it looks like it's lagging the other two entities that we're looking at this week, NuScale could actually be far ahead of the other companies because this is the only company that has NRC certified small reactor. So I'll go ahead and now plan for an entry on SMR for at least a partial position, if not a full position, as it pulls back into the 8-day moving average at about $26.20. Where's my stop loss? A 7% stop loss would take us down to 24.36. Now, what about the initial profit target? I again like this profit target. It's up here at the past highs, about the 32.30 level. What kind of a move would that be? Okay, I'd look to take profits up here approaching that 32.30 level. Let's say at 32 bucks, and that would give me about a 24% gain on this particular entity to the upside. But again, we'll ask the same question, but we'll figure out how to get there a slightly different way this time. Okay, so let's go to the all-time high over here at the 32.30 level and extend a Fibonacci down to this swing low right there. If I break out of this move here and have a symmetric 100% move, what's my upside target? My upside target would be, get that down a little bit, is up here at $53.78. So from where I would be entering, that would give me an approximate move of, again, 115%. Really interesting that these entities are showing that kind of potential. Now, is this a guarantee it's going to run that high? No, it is not. Where are some of the other places it could stop? It could only go up here to the 1272. That would be another profit target area, which would give me about 53%. Or it may pop above the 1272 up to the 1618, which would give me about an 82%, and then do a pullback. What I would be looking for as prices do in fact move is I would be looking for basically this kind of move. It could basically catch a wave up here, stop, changing colors. So I'd pick up the trade down here about the 24 level. Let's say it run up to the 1272 level, stall out here, do a pullback. Where would it to pull back to? Likely close to the breakout area, that 32 level. Find some support, run on up, slow down, stall out there, pull back a little bit, and then go on from there. So I can see that as being a three-leg move up to the upside. So again, 100+% move in what could be a very short period of time. So NuScale may be a little bit slower and maybe not run quite as hard as the other entities, but remember, it's further down the path to actually having operational SMRs. So the next entity is basically shows one of my favorite patterns that I wrote about in my book, Trade Your Way to Freedom. Basically, I cover 6 setups and 6 triggers, and we'll show you how this is one of my favorite triggers coming up next. Okay, nanonuclear, and I just love saying nanonuclear, NNE. Basically, it was very explosive in the move this past week, running over 57% in 18 days. Our AutoPilot trading members actually picked it up back down here off of about the 2250 level. And as you can see, as I talked about, this is one of my favorite patterns where I pull back into the 8-day moving average and then turns back around and rallies. That is, for me, that is my trigger number 4. And I do explain the rest of it in my book. And if you don't have a copy of that, you should go get it. The description will be down in the link will be down in the description. So as you can see, it ran up and closed about 53% higher, but it actually got up to 58.8%. Where to from now here? In reality, the technology that NNE or nano nuclear provides, I believe, is actually going to outpace everything else. Right now, they have no revenue, they have no license, but the market is buying the futures and these micro reactors because of the space that they take up, the off grid energy, because all these companies need clean off grid energy 24, and they have a whole bunch of new patents that are starting to come out. So while most traders do chase the hype, we've banked some really good profits on this so far, and I don't think it is done. So where's my buy zone on this? Let's check it out. Okay, one of the things I want to highlight to you is as I look at this big candle with the giant volume, oftentimes you'll get a pullback into the midsection of the candle. When you get these big green candles or these long range candles, the middle third tends to be a strong level of support. I want to also look to my left, and what do I see over here? This level here corresponds pretty darn close to that $33. So that's my target area to get into a trade on NNE. But what about the stop loss? Because my expectation is a little bit higher on this one, and also I have a little bit further to go to reach this 48.05, I'm going to go ahead with an 8% stop loss on this and place my stop loss if it gets back down to the bottom of this candle, about the $30.36 or 8%. So, what about my profit target number one? Profit target number one will be approaching this $48 range. So, how much of a move will that be? If I get in it right there at 33, that would give me a little bit over 40% move to the upside. If I get out at, let's say, 47 bucks, that's close enough. So here is my stop loss. Correction, my profit target. Okay, so there's the $47. And again, we want to take a look and see, okay, where to from there? We break out. This is a mega trend. Where's the 100% extension from that? I think it's important for us to know. Let's check that out. Okay, running a Fibonacci extension from the all-time high here down to this low here on that most recent move. I'm on a weekly chart. Go ahead and just grab that, run it down to there. And so if we break out of that $48 level, where's the 100%? Where would it be at 100% run? It'd be up about, let's see, $78.83. How much of a run? How much of a profit would that be? So from about the middle there, we said the $33 level. So that's about right about there. And if that ran all the way up to that, look at it, 137%. One of the things I did not answer in the on the other stocks is how long is that going to take? Um, that's a great question. The one of the things I can do is I can basically just project up here that I would probably hit the 100% right here, and that would correspond with about June of this year, 2025, and I can project on a I can project up a similar time frame, and that would put us up there towards the end of the year, probably the latter part of October, November time frame, and again, we don't know for sure, but if you're going to jump on this trade, pay attention to the 100% move to here, but then the 1272 and the 1618. Okay, folks, so on nanonuclear, the risk is high, but the momentum's real. I like all three of these. I've had some really great success trading nanonuclear and the OKLO. This is what the AutoPilot trading system is all about. I basically trade by my rules, no guesswork, and I wait for one of my 6 setups and triggers. So, as I said earlier, it's not about hype, it's about discipline. So I like to help people learn to be patient, be prepared. We've seen the first nuclear wave hit, but more setups are forming. So drop a comment. Which of these stocks are you going to trade? OKLO, SMR, or my favorite, NNE? If you want some additional background on these SMR stocks, video I did in the past that covers some of the ins and outs of these companies. So